Fine, whatever you want. There's this old... Yes, that's all I know, okay?
Listen up, spy. You're trapped in here, and we have your accomplice. Surrender immediately, or you both die.
Want to have your clip featured in the Skyrim Clip of the Week? Simply record the clip on your Xbox and then send it to me via message. My gamertag is iRyeni, that's IRYENI, and you can message it to me over Xbox and I'll be able to view it. I look forward to seeing the clips that you guys send me. Now moving on to the video. Hey, what's up guys, it's Ryan and welcome back to another episode of Modded Monday. We're on week number 140 now, guys. I've picked out 5 new mods for you guys to check out and perhaps add them to your load order if you find them interesting. So let's just jump straight into it. Starting off at our number 5 spot, we have the Toymania mod. Now the mod page reads, what do the orphans of Skyrim really need? More toys! And I mean like a ton more toys. This is exactly what the mod does. It adds a large assortment of new toys and items for your adopted children to carry about and wear. There are toy dolls, a toy dragon, teddy bears, stuffed bunnies, musical instruments, fur coats, and books. Why, you may ask? Just for fun. Now how the mod works is you'll first need a copy of the book called Childcraft, which I'm showing you right now. This book is found inside the Riverwood Trader on a small shelf to the right as you come in. As long as the book is in your inventory, you'll be able to create all of the items in the Mist category at the tanning rack. Once crafted, you can gift the items to your children and they will then equip them. Toys and books are equipped as shields, and the lutes and other instruments are equipped on the back. There's also a book that can be worn on the right hip, and your children will then carry the toys around with them. All items can be gifted to both boys and girls, and some things of note whenever downloading this mod is you should only give your child one item at a time. Giving them more than one can mess up the equipping process. And in case you want to unequip a specific item from your child, items can be crafted for free at the tanning rack as long as you still have the Childcraft book in your inventory, the unequipped left hand, the unequipped instrument, and the unequipped worn book. If you give these items to your child as gifts, it will remove their equipped item. Now, unlike Hearthfire clothes, once you swap the toys out from your child, that toy that you've given is now gone. This was done to prevent clutter in the inventory, so you'll have to craft a new toy if you want it back. Now when it comes to actually crafting the items and the materials required, you'll need a linen wrap and tundra cotton for the dolls and stuffed animals, firewood for the instruments, and rolls of paper for the books. Now I think this mod is absolutely perfect for the people that loved the Hearthfire DLC and want to just expand on it even more. You know, you have tons of mods out there that allow for multiple adoptions, but no one really ever focuses on the toys that are available for the kids to use. You know, you only have a select few in the vanilla game, and there isn't really many mods out there that cover other toys, and this mod adds tons of new toys into the game. So this mod is perfect for people who want to play more of a family role in their playthroughs and actually have more attention put into their family in the game, such as it be their spouse or their children. You now have more toys to fully immerse yourself in the family life experience, and that's why it comes in at our number 5 spot, so I'd recommend downloading the Toymania mod. Coming in at our number 4 spot, we have the Multiple Marriages mod. Now this mod allows the player to marry up to 100 new NPCs with the wedding scene, and the player can then change the spouse's outfits by giving them weapon and armors via dialogue. These spouses can also live in the player-defined house. Now the first step of all of this is to go to Riften in the Temple of Mara. You should be able to see the shrine right next to the main table, where you will also find the 2 main spellbooks needed for this mod. Now the shrine actually takes care of all the data migration from vanilla marriage systems to the multiple marriage system. Once you get married with the vanilla system, you can then use the shrine to move your vanilla spouse over to the multiple marriage slots. You can also reset the vanilla quest by using the shrine so that you can have another wedding. The shrine also provides the capacity information of the multiple marriage system, like how many slots have been occupied. The relocation operator spell is used to relocate spouses. Every spouse has a unique marker which is used to define their living location. After casting the spell, a menu will pop up and ask you which spouse you would like to live in that location. Once selected, the spouses will then be teleported to you and they will start living there. The NPC operator spell is the main control for the individuals. cast it to an NPC, and a pop-up menu will let you choose one of the following functions. There's the potential marry option, which adds the vanilla requirements for the marriage quest to the NPC, then the marry option, which directly assigns the NPC to one of the multiple marriage slots, and then there's also the divorce option, which removes the NPC from the multiple marriage system, and the inventory option, which opens the NPC's inventory, so if you give them armor and weapons, they are maintained by the multiple marriage system, and the NPC will then equip them. The mod system should then be able to keep these items equipped all the time. Some of the new features of this mod include being able to turn your spouse into a vampire now. So if you've gained the Vampire Lord ability from Serena or her father, you can then turn your spouses to a vampire by talking to them. To cure your vampire spouses, you will need to cure yourself first, and then talk to them with at least one filled black soul gem in your inventory. The differences between the vampire spouses and normal spouses is the vampire spouses will typically have red eyes, and will thank you for turning them into a vampire. The most significant difference is that vampire spouses have a different set of daily routing. They will now try to sleep during the day and become active at night, which I think is a really cool aspect of this mod, and I think the entire mod is great because not only the fact that you can have multiple wives and stuff like that, the main reason that I downloaded this mod is it opens your variety to how many people that you can marry in the game. In the vanilla game, you are blocked off to most NPCs and you cannot marry just anyone that you find, but this makes it so you can cast a spell on them and make it so they're a potential marry, meaning you can go through the vanilla sequence and just have a vanilla wedding as if they were already able to be married in the vanilla game. I think this mod just completely overhauls the way that romancing and the marriage system works in the game so that you can choose who you want to marry and who is able to be married. And that's definitely why this mod comes in at our number 4 spot, so I'd strongly recommend downloading the Multiple Marriages mod. Coming in at our number 3 spot, we have Viscous Foliage, a thick grass mod. Now this mod is a lot different than the grass mod that I currently use, which is Grassfield SE, but Viscous Foliage is just a complete overhaul to all of the grass in the game, making it look way more realistic. The grass mod that I use, I think, is way too vibrant and way too bright to actually be considered realistic. It's more of a fantasy feel, but if you aren't into the fantasy feel and you want something more real and looks more realistic, then this is definitely the mod for you. It adds tall grass to many different areas in the game, and it includes many wild grasses and underbrush for anyone that is looking for a grass mod that makes it feel like your Skyrim is full of life. Now I think this mod is absolutely perfect for people who want a more realistic experience instead of a fantasy experience. I'm just more on the lines of I grew up playing Oblivion and I really like the fantasy feel of that game, so I use the brighter grass mods, but there are other people out there that really like the realistic ones, and this is definitely one that tops the charts in my opinion. And that's definitely why this mod comes in at our number 3 spot, so I'd recommend downloading the Viscous Foliage, a thick grass mod. Coming in at our number 2 spot, we have the Trees Addon SE. Now this mod places Enderal trees and other tree models from resource packs around Skyrim for more tree diversity. Now this tree mod was built from the ground up with the thought in mind that you would combine it with other tree mods in the game, such as the Dark Forest of Skyrim, the Skyrim Flora Overhaul, David's Trees, and so on. With this mod combined with other tree mods such as these, your game will look completely new and so much better. Now some of the most beautiful areas in Skyrim in my opinion are the forests around Riverwood, as well as the trees outside of Riften. This mod makes it so there are plenty more trees and much more variety around those areas, and it has never looked better. And that's definitely why Trees Addon comes in at our number 2 spot, so I'd recommend downloading it and combining it with your other tree overhauls and lush overhauls as well. Coming in at our number 1 spot, we have a brand new mod called Sustained Magic. Now this is a complete overhaul to the magic system in terms of conjuration, and may make me actually jump into the conjuration skill tree now that it's made these changes. The mod page reads that you can maintain your spells by sacrificing a portion of your max magicka. It's based on the previous mod, Invested Magic. One of my biggest complaints about the magic system in Skyrim is that most spells do not last more than 1 or 2 minutes. This makes it so using spells like Mage Armor or pretty much anything in the Conjuration School unnecessarily tedious. This mod gets around that by making the spells permanent, but using them reduces your max magicka. For example, you can summon a Flame Atronach permanently, but doing so will reduce your magicka by 80 points. If you have the Apprentice Conjuration perk, the cost is reduced to 40 points. If the Atronach is killed in battle or you dispel it yourself, your magical points will be then returned to you. This system applies to pretty much all conjuration spells, including Dawnguard and Dragonborn spells, with the exception of spells that are already permanent summons such as the Dead Thrall. Spells in other schools function as toggles. So if you cast a spell like Candlelight, it will reduce your magicka by 15 points, or 7 with Novice Alteration, and it'll stay active until you cast the spell again, which will then dispel it and return to your magicka points. Now I think this mod is absolutely perfect in terms of being a conjurer and actually being able to use the conjuration skill tree. It's actually worthwhile now. I've played Skyrim for a very long time now, and I've barely ever dived into the conjuration skill tree, mostly because I didn't really feel like it was giving me too much bang for my buck. I could just do way more damage with destruction and just using bow and arrow. But with the sustained magic mod enabled, I can now cast spells like Candlelight and have a light follow me around at all times without having to keep casting the spell over and over, and I can also have people follow me around, such as the people that I conjure, such as the Frost Astronaut and the Flame Astronauts, as you can see here. And one of my favorite parts about the mod is being able to summon your own henchmen so that they'll just follow you around at all times, and you won't have to worry about them despawning on you without them dying. And I definitely feel this mod is going to change the way a lot of people play whenever it comes to going into the conjuration skill tree and performing different types of missions, such as this side mission that I wanted to do for myself, where I rescue Rogvir using only my henchmen, and I just summon a bunch of different Flame Atronachs, and they just go to town on the entire City of Solitude, and I rescue Rogvir, and we get out of there to safety. All in all, I think it's a perfect mod whenever it comes to being a mage, and that's definitely why it comes in at our number 1 spot, so I'd strongly recommend downloading the Sustained Magic mod. So that's pretty much it for this week's episode of the top 5 Skyrim mods of the week. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and if you did, I'd appreciate it if you left a like and subscribe if you're new. It really helps me out a lot. And if you have any suggestions for mods you'd like me to cover in future top 5 mod episodes, be sure to let me know in the comment section below, or you can follow me on Twitter. I'll be sure to leave my Twitter in the description, and you guys can follow me on there and leave me suggestions to there as well. Special shout out to my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys have done for me. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I will talk to you guys later.